Okay, so we'll start here for the mechanical measurement course. This course will be dealt by two different teachers, out of which initial part will be taken by me, as we'll discuss here. So from the name itself, we can guess that what is the role of the measurement into the mechanical and as such general engineering. So we started with measuring the numbers, say starting from counting. We have started counting, say number 1, 2, 3 and so on. We have counted the objects, we have counted the different components. So it has started by measuring the numbers. We started measuring the lengths in terms of yards, in terms of distances in feet. So distance traveled by the person, distance of some entity in terms of the measurement scale of the hand, one hand length, two hand length and so on. We also started measuring volume. What is the net content of some say physical entity. Okay. Then we also started measuring mass. Say for exchange of the goods and other elements, we started measuring the mass equivalent to something. Say for example, there is one bag full of rice. Equivalent to that, if we want to give the say bag of wheat, then we are trying to compare. By comparison, we started measuring the mass. Then this way, we found that we have started using measurement. It was a need of time that without measurement we could not proceed further for some entity measurement, knowing the contents of the system. Then we started slowly measuring the area, say area of our farm, area of the particular land, area of some kind of elements like paper, area of the table. So the table is it was required. So slowly we moved further. Okay, so science of the measurement has a long history. Then we started measuring mass and weight. Now in this way, when we have started measurement, we can find what will happen if there is no measurement possible. We will not be able to quantify. We will not be able to give something in terms of number. So we will not be able to say that it is a 5 number. There are 80 students in 2 classes. So we can just imagine that without measurement or absence of the measurement, we will not be able to quantify. We will not be able to assign some numbers to some entity. Okay. So without the amount and measure, we will not come to know what is the status of the system. The very first slide we discussed was a very general slide. It was having some background of history long back before there was no standards established. But now, as on date today, we have got a very calibrated standards available with very fixed units for measurement. So if now we want to have the measurement of the mechanical system property, we will not be able to quantify what is the temperature of the filament. Then we'll have to express that filament is hot or cold. We'll have to express that voltage is high or low. We'll have to say that the pressure measurement device is for low pressure or for high pressure. Okay. So there will be some low, high, there will be say just qualitative measurement of the entities. Whereas now we must know the quantity. Quantitative measurement is required. Okay. So actually we have got the assessment by guess only if there is no measurement. Right. So the meaning will be lost. There will be no scientific meaning to the entities. See, if I say the filament is hot or filament is cold, it will have no scientific meaning. It will be just a layman's language that today is too cold, today is too hot day. If it has no meaning, especially in terms of science, in terms of the say engineering and technology for having the different processes and different elements to be controlled. We will not be having any of the meaning if there is no measurement, right? So the quantitative assessment of the entity is very important, very essential, that assigns number to the parameter. Okay. So what is measurement? So we discussed in the earlier slide that measurement is nothing but a process. What we have done, we have compared, say distance, for example, the distance traveled by a person. He will measure that in terms of the feet, distance 5 feet or 5 arm length, like that. It is the act of comparing. We have got some entity to measure and then we are going to compare. Say for example, there is ice. We will say that the temperature is very near to the temperature of ice. So what is that? It is nothing but a process or act of comparing. This is more important word, comparing. So we are going to compare this. Okay. So it is a process of comparing, and more scientifically we can call that it as a quantifying. We are quantifying that in terms of number, so that there is some value is very important here. Tagging a physical or virtual entity, that is nothing but value. Assigning value is important. So what we have done on comparing, we have assigned some value to it. The distance is 5 feet distance. Distance is 10 arm or 10 hand distance. The diameter of the board, the diameter of the well is say 10 hand, or depth is say 10% feet, 10% depth. A very rough unit, may be rough, but what we have done, it remains the same from age long. We are going to compare. We are going to have the entity being tagged with the numbers. So this entity can be the physical object. Say for example, there are now 100 students in the class, 170 students in the class. So what I have done, I have given assigned number 117. As on right now, the number of students present or participants present in the meeting is 117. So same thing, it can be very scientifically told that it can be any entity. Say for example, number of electrons in an atom. The entity can next be the property. So what are the different properties of material? We have got yield strength, we have got the tensile strength, we have got the say Young's modulus. There are different elements, different properties which we are going to define. Say temperature is there, pressure, volume, and so on. So there can be number of properties there. Or more specific, in today's context, we have got the process parameters. Many of the processes are to be controlled. Say for example, there is a flow of water into the boiler. Say it is say 1000 cubic meters per hour. Some unit we have assigned as a scientific measurement for the process parameter. Say the amount of fuel consumed by the particular boiler, or amount of fuel consumed by your two-wheeler or four-wheeler in terms of liters per kilometer or something. So it is nothing but a process of having combustion of the fuel or obtaining the power. So what we have done, we have defined that. Okay. So it can be the process parameter. So there can be any entity which is of interest. We are going to define that. We are going to tag some unit to it, physical unit to it, right? So the status of the measurement, say for example, if you consider any scientific phenomena in science, we found that it has progressed because of the measurement. More and more accurate measurements are possible for time, length, say the time, distances, the mass, and so on. Because of this, the progress in the science, we are able to measure everything correctly, even the distance between the two stars or difference between the two say elements into the space. Okay. So all the laws which are established in the scientific phenomena involves some numerical parameters, and those are well supported by means of the measurement. There are various measurement methods, there are various measurement instruments that we have generated or we have created. So all the laws, those are established. It has involved various parameters. You can take example of your IC engine. Suppose you want to conduct a test, you have to go for different measurements. So all kind of measurement into the phenomena or the law which is there for say combustion or so on, it has been established, and more accuracy is obtained through the measurement. So as the measurement is improved or developed further, the science has advanced further, we find more and more scientific laws are being tested, validated, and so on for better accuracy, better, say, reliability, and so on. Not only in the science, but we require measurement in the industries. So, for example, there is one workpiece that is to be made on some machine. So we have to take the measurements of the length, height, and so on, the mass, surface finish. There are different entities which you have measured. Okay. So the better quality products are possible to make in industry with the measurement. It has also helped automation. Say, for example, the measurement of some element which is moving on the conveyor, if it is done with the help of image processing, we find that it is going to help automation. We need to unmount that part, take all the measurement, conduct all the, say, entity tagging, and then again putting it on the line. It is not required, or it is not that justified. So by involvement of the measurement, we have, say, able to have the automation into the industries, right? So in industry, we find there are large number of sensors developed. Say, take example of the power plants, take examples of your two-wheeler or so four-wheelers. In the four-wheeler, you have got the different sensors mounted. So, for example, opening of the airbag, right? Take example of the household element like washing machines, even the food processors, even the different element that you use in the household appliances, refrigerators, then even the televisions and so on. See the example of the mobile. Now you have got different sensors into the mobiles, right? So these sensors are going to help in taking the measurement, which is used not only in scientific area, but it is also used in the industries, right? So the mechanical measurement, what is we are going to do here is we are going to have the measurement of the mechanical parameters. If you have heard of the subjects called as there is electrical measurement also. There are different entities into electrical engineering which require measurement of and, say, accurate prediction of the status. So same thing is with the mechanical elements, the different properties which are used into the mechanical domain, say displacement, velocity, acceleration, speed, force, torque, power, pressure, and so on are required to be measured not only for knowing the state, but also for having help in controlling the processes further. Okay. So instrumentation mainly deals with the signal processing. It's not only the science where we tag the entity, but it is a complete, say, system in which the status is made known, status is compared with some standard, and then it is assigned with some number, and even that assignment, say, time dependent assignment of the value is taken and used for further application. So that is done through the signal processing. We are going to process the signal because we will never get the signals in terms of the final usable format. So we need to have the instruments for this. Say, the instrumentation then mainly deals with the processing of the signal and converting that into the useful format. So mechanical measurement is concerned with conversion of the parameters which are basically used into the mechanical domain into more useful format of the process, say more useful form of the signals, maybe voltage, maybe current, or some other way which is very easy to express in some useful numbers, right? So in addition, we need to understand the mechanical processes. Knowledge of the trueness of converting one entity to or one format of the information other format is also important, which is there in the measurement of various parameters. So mechanical measurement takes care of this, that it is going to have the proper understanding of the mechanical process, how the signals are converted from one form to other and how those are converted into the quantification, or how number is tagged to the particular entity. So we need to learn that particular element. So actually what we are going to learn into this science or this subject, we are going to look into the fundamentals of the instrumentation. The instrument, what are the main what are the main components of the instrument, what are the main component of the measurement system, what is the overall mechanical measurement system, what are the different parts into it, what are the different elements which make the structure of the instrument or the mechanical measurement system, what are the different types, what is the important component, that is in terms of the, say, reliability of the conversion, reliability of the reading of the entity, that is nothing but the accuracy analysis, or we call that as an error analysis, and then we try to eliminate that error or to maintain that error within the acceptable limits. So we actually go for the errors and the calibration of the instrument or calibration of the mechanical measurement system. That is what we are going to see primarily into this subject. We will only learn the fundamental principles, but whereas this is a very vast domain and have different components being developed, which are mainly the interdisciplinary nature and involving the different sensors from different domains like electronics and, say, even processing in terms of the programming languages and other elements. So very basic and fundamentals of the instruments and measurement systems will be seen here. Then we are going to learn about the characteristics of the instruments, very basic characteristics of the instrument, which are involving the term called as the accuracy and the subsequent terms, repeatability and so on. I think that will come across. Okay. Then there are some characteristics which are going to occur when the instrument is going to have the time dependent measurements, right? So when it is a time dependent measurement where input is going to change frequently, right? So those will be right. So those will be terms and dynamic characteristics. The response of the system will change if the input is going to change with respect to time. Okay, so we are going to learn something about the dynamic characteristics of the instruments as well as the static characteristics, how those characteristics are to be found out and how those are to be calibrated, that will be seen. Okay. Then we are going to, in particular, see the measurement of the different entities which are very often required into the mechanical domain, like displacement measurement, the velocity measurement, measurement of the acceleration, measurement of the stress, strain, and so on, weight, force measurement, torque measurement, power measurement, different devices, different mechanical systems which are used for measurement of this entity. Then for mostly the process control, we need to know the pressure, sound, flow, level, temperature entities to be measured. So we are going to see the very basic and see very established measurement system for measurement of these mechanical entities. Whereas the today's world, we find the measurement science has advanced so much that the instruments principles, working principle may be little improved than what we are going to study into this particular subject. Okay. Then most important part into this component or the mechanical measurement systems is to have the signal processing. Now earlier the name of this subject was measurements and signal processing. So there we used to take this part permanently. But now the name of the subject has changed and syllabus also is revised. We are very rarely going to deal with the signal processing. But let us understand what is the importance of the signal processing. Say once the signal is obtained, say from some system, which is required for controlling the process, that needs to be further used for having some control. Say for example, we acquire the signal, we take the signals, we have the status of the system then. Say for example, temperature of some system is known or some confined boundaries, within the boundary it is known. And if we find that it is having some comparison with the set standard, if it reaches something above the set limit, then we need to do some action. So for taking the action, we need to control the say process with which that temperature is generated. So we need to acquire that information of the present status, for example, temperature is an entity. Then after having, we need to process it. We have to convert that into the proper format. We have to condition that. If there are some unwanted elements entered into the signal that we need to remove, then we need to analyze, further compare and give some instruction for controlling the process. So signal and data processing becomes very, very important as far as the process controls is concerned. So this part though we may not see into this subject, but you should understand that not only the tagging or quantifying the system in terms of number is important, but also the controlling of the process is required, which is only achieved by having the signal and data processing further, right? So we need to present that data then. See, if you have visited some mechanical system, say for example power plant or some other industry, if you have visited, you see that there are different display panels which are going to display the status of the particular system. There will be different panels, say there will be some temperature, pressure, and say flow of the water and so on. Different dials will be there. What they are doing, they are presenting the status of the property into the system. So data presentation becomes very, very important part, which many times are required to be stored and retrieved as and when required. Say for example, we go for measurement of some entity, and then we recall that, say, before in the last cycle of the process, what was the average temperature of the system? What was the average pressure into the boiler? So for knowing this, we must have all the data acquired at the time interval, and then those time interval samples of the information needs to be averaged out. So for this, we must store the information and then take the average of this. Okay. So there are different applications where we go for the data collection and data presentation, data storage. Nowadays, into the different scientific equipments, we have got the storage facility for the information that is most required in almost all fields, starting from the medical sciences to the industries, different mechanical industries. We require to store the information, right? So this is what we are going to learn in short. Let us discuss about the syllabus. Part A of the syllabus that I will be dealing with is about the general principles of the measurement system, why the systems and how the systems are going to work, how the performance of the measurement system is achieved, what are the different parameters for performance of the mechanical measurement system that we are going to study. Then we also are going to see the structure. What is the measurement system? What are various different elements into the measurement systems? What are the different examples of the measurement system? The basic block diagram of a system. Then we are going to find the characteristics of the measurement system, so especially the static characteristics. We will be identifying the different static characteristics. We will see the definitions, we will see how those can be achieved, and some numerical part will also be there, which is going to lead to establishment of certain acceptable, say, signals. That is nothing but a calibration. So we also are going to learn what is calibration, how it is done, why it is done, and say how that is maintained after, say, periodic usage of the instrument, how we are going to calibrate that. Okay. Then some basics regarding the dynamic characteristics of the system, response of the system to the different dynamic situations, right? Then the errors, the deviation of the system from the ideal or the desired performance level to something that because of the different sources we find it is going to degrade. So the measurement system errors, we are going to study what are different kinds of error, what are the different reasons for these errors, how those can be eliminated. So the ideal elements in the error, then probability density function of the system for non-ideal elements, and what are the different methods for reduction of the error that we are going to study. Part B basically will be dealt with Dr. Thakre. He'll be dealing majorly with elements of the measurement system, the different classification, principle, construction, range, then the operating principles, then different working principles. Say for example, same entity, if it's been measured, there can be number of different principles on which the measurement system will be based on. So the particulars of those, how one system is better or one measurement technique is having some merits and demerits over the other, everything will be discussed here, especially in relation with the different entities. So those entities will be displacement measurement, force measurement, speed measurements, torque measurement, flow measurement, level, pressure, sound and light measurement. This is a very major part that we will be considering. I already told you that earlier syllabus or earlier subject where it was MSP, mechanical measurement and signal processing, we used to teach this. So it's very rare that we'll be able to cover this. But let us see that this part will also be important for you to understand. We may or may not cover this, but sometime if it is possible, you can go through different textbooks for the signal processing part. What are the different sensing elements? What are types of signal processing and conditioning element, data acquisition, different digital and analog techniques in the mechanical measurement. What are the different readouts? How the element of the information stored, it is analyzed and presented. Okay, so these few names will be there into the very first part of the syllabus also. The different elements for acquiring the status of the system, processing different element units which are required for processing the signals, analysis of the system and presentation system. Okay. So this is the very brief syllabus of part A and part B. Then the books which we are going to follow is Mechanical Measurement Systems by E.O. Doblin, Application and Design. This is the book I think that is available in the PDF format on the internet resources. So you are required to download this, and for your information you can put that on the group even. Right? So one of you can volunteer this task. They can have all the books, put it on our WhatsApp group now. Then the second book we will be using is Mechanical Measurement by Beckwith Buck, Instrumentation, Measurement and Analysis by Nakar and Chowdhury. So many times we take the numericals from this supporting text. Okay. So numericals or the analysis, the numerical analysis for the different systems we also see from the book of measurement by Doblin. But this is also another book which is an Indian edition and is covering the syllabus in a proper way. Okay. The one more book we are going to use is Principle of Measurement by John Bentley. Okay. Now teaching plan will be requiring minimum 33 classes plus extras as and when required will be able to conduct. So roughly we should understand that part A will be having 20 lectures and part B, that is a teaching plan for my part of syllabus and Dr. Thakre's syllabus, will be distributed around 20 classes each, around 20 classes. So there will be some class tests and there will be some discussion. So as and when required, we will be using these numbers. So extra classes, I already told you that as and when required, we will be able to plan. Now evaluation plan for part A and part B, total I am talking about, end semester examination or online mode will be of 35 marks. Sessional 1 or mid-sessional will be of 25 marks. Class test or this is something wrong. So it will be 40 marks. So part A will be having 20 marks internal evaluation. Part B will have another 20 marks of evaluation. So if I am teaching part A, the mid-sessional syllabus from part A will be evaluated for 25 marks in the mid-semester examination, as well as 5 marks questions will appear on part A into the end semester examination. The remaining 30 marks paper will be here from part B. Right. Exam will be open book examination. Anyway, it is online. So there will be all questions compulsory, question answer type. It will be short answer, numerical, sketch of the instrument. Then end semester, I think this is something wrong. This was with the old format, offline format. Now I think end semester is 1.5 hours. I need to modify this. Sessional, mid-sessional examination, it will be of 1 hour. Then paper size. Now paper size from my, at least the part A, I will restrict the number of papers. The A4 size sheet, and then you will be using the instruction will be given, number of pages to be used, that everything will be told to you before examination. Now class test. So there will be quiz. Though it is called as a class test, it will be kind of quiz based on the part A. I am not aware about part B, but anyway, that will be taken care for having internal assessment for part A out of 20 marks, part B out of 20 marks. So I am planning at as on now to have some kind of quiz or class test for this 20 marks. Okay. So there will be say some number of the class tests or the quizzes, and out of that some element will be considered for, as I say, best out of that. Say suppose now there are 6 or 7 tests, best 5 will be considered, then it will be converted into 20 marks. And if required, we will be also having viva also, if it is required. Okay. So I think this we need not to worry about at this point of time. But for sure, you must know that it will be a negative marking type. So class test will be of negative marking type. Okay. So this is okay. This is not required for you. This was for offline mode. Now, anything that you need to discuss, anything that is in your mind, let me know. Otherwise, we'll be able to stop here for today, the initial class. If somebody has some doubt, they can ask. Yes, there is no doubt here. Okay, if it is clear to you, I think we'll be able to stop here for today. Right, and I will say again, iterate that you should maintain minimum 75% attendance, even if it is on an online mode. That attendance will be monitored, and you will be communicated regarding the attendance, say at least once in a 15 days. So I think we'll stop here for today. Thank you for joining.